You know what? I hate the devil. I mean, I hate Jack Hughes. That's what I meant to say. I think I hate Jack Hughes more than I hate the devil. Well, you know what? Let's talk about what I love. I love Stanley Cups, even though I got none. That being said, I do believe there's a 43% chance we do win one ASAP. And that's because of the devil. What? Let's do this. Locked On Canucks.
The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Kyle Bowen with the best podcast intros in the game, man. Oh, man. This is another episode of Locked On Canucks. I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy is Kyle Bowen. And today we're talking about the devil. But more specifically, how Quinn Hughes and the Canucks need to become the Devils. What's one way to make sure Quinn Hughes doesn't become the devil or join the Devils? Become the devil, baby. More on that on this episode of Locked On Canucks. We'll also get into the last fake season lines and why the Canucks will be better than you think this year in the West. But Kyle, this season must circle around just being the New Jersey Devils, and specifically the New Jersey Devils from about 20 years ago.
Yeah, man, defense wins championships. Let's run into the specifics. This has been the propaganda that I've been spewing since like late July. We need to kill the NHL. We need to destroy the NHL. We need to begin the dead puck era. We need to join the Illuminati. And again, defense wins championships. I think goal scoring has gone through the roof. Boom, bam, do the math. That being said, I don't give a puck. Let's slow it down and break down the facts, Trevor. Like, what did the Devils do to win the Stanley Cup? Yeah, they had multiple Hall of Famers, and we probably only have one. But specifically speaking, defensively speaking, and offensively speaking, speak about it.
Well, look, the New Jersey Devils, back when they won the Cup in 2003, and of course they had about a 10-year run there with the Cup in 94 and 2000 and all that stuff too, or at least going to the finals then. Sorry, they won the Cup. Jason Arnott's overtime goal. I remember that stuff. Look, it was based on their defense and their goaltending, right? And that really is the path for the Canucks this season, right? And look, even when the Devils, brought home that first championship in 94, I know it was a weird year with the lockout, but they weren't a team that was necessarily expected to do great things. I know they had a bit of a run the year before, but Martin Brodeur, fairly young guy in the league. But look, the Vancouver Canucks can follow a similar blueprint here. And I know this is a copycat league, but it's time to shoo those cats out the door. Pour some water on those cats. You know what I'm saying? Time to beat the devil. And that's what the Vancouver Canucks can do here. Look, that Devils team that when they last won the Cup in 2003, they were 14th overall in goals scored and first overall in goals against. And they did that based on the fact that they had a great defense, led by a Quinn Hughes clone and Scott Niedermayer. Though Quinn Hughes is the evolved version, I'd say. Of course, they had Scott Stevens as well. Oh, Quinn Hughes. Oh, that's not a bold take at all, man. Come on.
Quinn Hughes is better than Scott Niedermayer. One for one.
Of course.
Okay, yeah.
Are you serious?
Hey,
Scott Niedermayer. I know he played in the dead puck era, but when the New Jersey Devils won that Cup in 2003, Niedermayer had 11 goals and 39 points in the regular season. Quinn Hughes is an 80 to 90 point per season player. Oh yeah, and he's pretty damn good at playing defense as well. So yeah, Quinn Hughes absolutely better than Scott Niedermayer. But this is the path for your Vancouver Canucks. Be the New Jersey Devils 2003.
I'm sorry for cutting off, but I'm trying to protect your family. I've watched The Conjuring, so you better be careful about how you speak about the devil, Trevor. For real. I didn't know you're going to come out like that and be like, yo, right now, peak Quinn Hughes is better than peak Scott Niedermayer. That's cool. I like it, Trevor. Keep going, though. Keep going.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just, again, thinking about that Devils run as well. And again, the NHL was different in the sense that it was a very defensive game and that played into the Devils' favor. But why can't the Canucks buck the trend here? I mean, again, that goal is to have one of the best defenses in the NHL, one of the best goaltending tandems in the NHL, and just be average offensively. That's what that Devils team was. I mean, they were led up front, by Patrick Elias and Jamie Langenbrunner and John Madden, right? Like, that wasn't a team of stars, but they had, a group of guys that could get, 40 to 50 points called, and now in the less dead puck era, the alive puck era, 50 to 60 points, right? And do the Canucks have a handful of guys that could get there? I think it's probably possible with, Garland, Besser, Pettersson, DeBrusk, Hedl could maybe get there as well. Like they might have that group of guys. And of course, Pettersson, we know he's got higher potential than that. But again, if this team can just be average offensively, there's a path for them to do great things if the goaltending stays healthy and the defense is as strong and stiff as we expect it to be.
Man, oh man, on that note, we got to get to this comment. Mother Nucker saying Begsy spitting fire, and Callum Sandu saying Nuck in hell. Trevor, man. And again, how about this connection? You kind of brought it up. The Devils' best forward, Patrick Elias, right? I think that's how you say it. The Canucks' best forward, Elias Pettersson. That's Illuminati for you. That's connecting the dots. Okay.
Signed by a guy named Patrick.
Oh, I like that. All in all, though, Trevor.
That's right. The Illuminati taking over your Vancouver Canucks at a time when you least expect it. With the drama, everything surrounding this team, people aren't expecting the Canucks to make the playoffs. But if they unleash their inner devil, Kyle, they can do great things.
Wow. That's what we're doing here, man. Okay, but Trevor, I want to play devil's advocate ironically, okay? You mentioned like Jason Arnott, you mentioned John Madden. You know, it's crazy how we're comparing these two teams and ultimately trying to win the cup the Devil's way, and we haven't even brought up Scott Stevens yet, right? That's kind of crazy. That is crazy. That's really crazy. One of the best defensemen of his generation. Prototypical prime-time elite defenseman in the dead puck era too. Like, you want that guy. So I got to ask this. Like, I feel as if, and this is why I want DP to make the team ASAP and be a big-time player ASAP. So while we have Quinn Hughes, whether it be for the next 2 years or the next 4 or 5 years, when we can capitalize on being, you know, defensive juggernauts and realistically speaking, the carbon copy of the New Jersey Devils, we need that toughness, right? We need that toughness. And I think DPD and company need to kind of like instill that in this team because they're lacking it. And again, you brought up John Madden and Jason Arnott, and did they even have Michael Rupp? I don't even know. Like, I have to do the math, but they were tougher than us, you know? And
Yeah.
I feel like defensively, I feel like the Canucks can get down in business for real. Like I'm more confident than ever. Like Hronek, Hughes, Marcus Pettersson, Mancini, Tyler Myers, and DPD when it's all clicking, and Tom Melander because he's going to internally push those guys, and Derek Forbert. I do want to read a comment. We're going to do it in the second segment where we read the best comments from the previous episode because somebody talked about Forbert actually being the number 1 PK defenseman on this team, maybe in the league, which is crazy to say. But anyways, there's a recipe again with Demko and Lankinen for this team to not allow a lot of goals, but that toughness issue, Trevor, that's a big time. That's how you win in the playoffs. I'm a good old Canadian boy, Trevor. I don't know about you. When you look at both of us, obviously I look more Canadian than you, and I'm trying to bring you to my side. But all in all, like, we need that toughness, and we don't got it.
Well, I think that's why guys like DPD and Mancini are really going to be key fixtures for this team moving forward. And, you know, we've kind of had that conversation too about, you know, we had it yesterday, I believe. Every Dayers know. I think I know. But one of those guys between DPD, Mancini, and Willander probably have to be traded if you're going to upgrade your forward group. And just based on the way the Canucks have structured their defense, based on the lack of toughness. Look, I mean, Mancini's not the toughest guy in the world, but he's 6'5", 230. Like, he can throw it around if he wants to. DPD, we've seen the toughness.
Whoa.
Does it not make Willander maybe the most likely of the three to be traded? Am I nuts for saying that? But look, I think long term, I mean, again, look at that Devils team from 02-03 when they last won the cup. You know, you had your kind of your big three of Scott Niedermayer, Brian Rafalski, and Scott Stevens, right? And the Canucks have Marcus Pettersson, Philip Pronik, and Quinn Hughes. I mean, it's not quite there, right? I think Quinn Hughes does make up for the lack of the other two, you know, being at that top pairing level. Although, again, Marcus Pettersson and Philip Pronik, they're top defenders in their own right. Let's not get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But even for the rest of the defense, you know, they had like a young Colin White who was playing over 22 minutes a game in the playoffs and impacting things. And, you know, then the bottom four after that. But I think, again, the recipe for the Canucks in terms of being successful is probably guys like DPD and Mancini taking a step because, you know, long term, or if you're thinking about a long playoff run, sure, Forward and Myers bring that toughness. But I think for the ceiling of this team to go up, you're going to need to see DPD and Mancini make an impact.
Oh, yeah. Immediately. Because if they do, take the next step, then I would make the argument. Because again, I think Mancini's ceiling this year can go through the roof. I don't know if this guy's like drooling at the fact that he may only have to put 2 good seasons together as a big defenseman to make $9 million a year. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm sorry. What was the guy who signed Lacombe? What's his name? Jackson Lacombe? Is that his name?
Lacombe. Yeah,
Who the
that's
hell
his name,
is that
buddy.
guy? Two good seasons. I don't even want to say 2 good seasons. I'd say 1 good season in hockey, and he's a big dude. He gets paid $9 million a year. If I'm Mancini, and I'm getting a top 4 role with Marcus Pettersson, and I know that that's all I got to do to be a $9 million player or $7 million player. Man, oh man, that Philip Hronek deal looking beautiful right now. Let's be honest. Let's be real.
And the Marcus Pettersson deal, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like all in all, like they can build something really special here if Mancini takes the next step this year, and if DPD, and they're kind of looking at like an elite top 5, and Myers playing less minutes can give you a lot too. And bringing the whole toughness thing. I will say this about Tyler Myers. I don't mention him a lot when it comes to toughness, because I don't really. I feel like me and Tyler Myers have to hug it out for real. I feel like if Tyler Myers saw me in the middle of the street, he'd DDT me, he'd throw an apple at me, and he'd power slam me straight up through the concrete. Okay. All in all, though, that guy's a tough guy. That's what I was trying to say, Trevor. He stands up for his teammates. He does what he does, and we need to be tough. Now, Trevor, last note on this comparison, because we got to talk about the lineup and we got to get to the comments. We got Kyle Levette in the comments. If you know, you know. Future mayor of Surrey, maybe for real. All in all, though, there is a world where Demko and Lankinen give you, and this is crazy, Martin Brodeur type goaltending.
They have the potential to do it, right? They have the potential to be the best goaltending duo in the NHL, right? We've seen it from Demko if he doesn't get overplayed. We've seen it from Lankinen if he doesn't get overplayed. If these guys can stay healthy, and this Canuck defense is pretty damn good. Like, there's a recipe here for the Canucks to be the Devils of 20 years ago. And I mean, the irony in that is, I know for the Devils haters who are actually, dedicated enough to tune into this episode. So thank you, Devils lovers, Canucks haters there. But the Canucks can be the Devils from 20 years ago with Quinn Hughes, with Thatcher Demko, with Kevin Lankinen, with this defense, baby.
Well, I'm bad, bro. I'm down to sleep with the devil. You've seen those episodes of South Park, right? Trevor, I'm sorry. This is crazy because I don't know who's listening. Hey, I'm pretty sure my girlfriend's singing songs in the other room behind me. But I'm down to sell my soul to the devil to win a Stanley Cup.
I'll be damned.
You heard it here first, and I really hope that the devil's not listening, because I actually believe in the devil, and sometimes I see him when I'm sleeping. Have you ever had sleep paralysis? More on that on the other side.
There we go. Let's talk about our wet dreams on the other side and the Canucks lineup ahead of their last preseason game here on Locked On Canucks. All right, before we get back to the show, let's shout out our friends over at FanDuel. NFL season is here, NHL season here, and baseball playoffs. Oh, baby. They're also here, and FanDuel's got you covered on all the action. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5 buckaroonies, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Man, oh man, let's talk about some spicy odds, eh? I mean, Jack Hughes, man, tongue in cheek, making the comments. We'll get to Kyle's Jack Hughes hit on the other side, but right now the New Jersey Devils, the 8th best odds on FanDuel to win the Stanley Cup at plus 1,400. If you want some real value, okay? You want some real value. The Vancouver Canucks, they've actually fallen here. They're down to plus 5,000 to win the Stanley Cup, tied with the Utah Mammoth and the St. Louis Blues. So if you're believing that the Canucks are the next incarnation of the 03 Devils, that might be a bet you want to check out on FanDuel. Whatever bet you're placing, make sure you do it on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com and download the FanDuel app today to get started.
Are you serious? The Devils' 8th best odds to win the Cup? People, we back doing this, talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name's Kyle Bowen. That right there is Trevor Baggs. And one love to you and you and you and you to listening or for listening to this podcast here. Hit the like button, subscribe. Happy wives, happy lives. Do the math, okay? We both got women in our lives. Christmas is around the corner. The likes do help a lot. Now let's get to the comments. SK93 saying the Devils are the most overrated team in the league. I think so too. No, I like their decor, and I actually do like their top six too, and I like their goaltending. I know they got pieces, but like, aren't they a team that also needs more playoff experience too? 8th best odds to win the cup? Like, what?
Yeah, you know what? There's obviously some cachet behind the Hughes brothers being there. Look, I want to come on here and just be spitting hate about the Devils. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Look, Jack Hughes hasn't been able to stay healthy. Luke Hughes wasn't healthy for the playoffs last year. You know, I'm not sure about the roster either. Jacob Markstrom, isn't he like 76 years old in net? What's going on there? I mean,
Hey,
it's Gary Bettman's NHL, man. The sexy teams tend to get the better odds.
No hate on Jacob Markstrom. Honestly, Trevor, no hate on him. I'm a big Jacob Markstrom fan.
Kyle. One of my least favorite teams this season is the New Jersey Devils. I want nothing but bad things to happen in New Jersey, because man, it's going to be. We've had 55 years of sadness here in Vancouver. I don't care what Devils fans want. Okay, I want to see them lose. So Quinn thinks, maybe I shouldn't go play there. That's to me what matters more than anything else. That's probably one of the biggest stories of the Canucks season. So yeah, I'm the Devils. You know, there's maybe a couple teams I'll cheer for over the Devils. But yeah, they're one of my least favorite teams for sure heading into this season.
Wow. You're right, though. Honestly, screw the Devils, puck the Devils, puck the Illuminati. And let's just change the narrative, man. Go Canucks, go. Let's see what happens. Best decor in the league. Great goaltending. And honestly, Trevor, you kind of sparked this interest in me after and when I say the interest, I'm talking about us being contenders sooner than we think, which I was like, okay, relax there, buddy. But you spewed it. You said, yo, if the Oilers have only 2 good players or 2 amazing players, 2 elite players, albeit, you know, number 1, 2 in the league, let's Draisaitl and McDavid, because I like the playoff success too, and Draisaitl is just a playoff hero, for real. Let's be real. All that being said, they just have 2 guys. We have 1 guy. And maybe if Lankinen and Demko fuse together, they can become Brodeur and join Hughes in that mix where it's like we have 2 elite things going on our team. Again, Quinn Hughes, Sportsnet just ranked him 6th when it comes to the best players in the league, above Austin Matthews. I'll take it. I like to believe that Quinn Hughes is actually ranked 3rd, straight up. I think it's McDavid, Draisaitl, and then Quinn Hughes, and then Nathan McKinnon, and then Cale Makar. A little bit of the West Coast bias, but I just believe he's uber elite, such a game changer. Every time he's on the ice, we have the puck, things are happening. On that note, though, again, Trevor, if you said the Oilers can make way with having 2 elite guys, the Canucks, like uber elite, I'm talking amongst the 0.00001% in the league. The Canucks have one of those guys. They do. So they're kind of halfway there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You kind of froze on me for a second there, Kyle, but it kind of leads me to go into this, talk about where Quinn Hughes ranks among the best players in the NHL. Let's go league wide, baby, with What the Puck.
I thought this was a Canucks show.
Ito, this WAS a Canucks show.
All right, What the Puck, where we go around the NHL to talk about what's happening outside of Vancouver. And this happened outside of Vancouver, man. The Locked On best player rankings. Okay, you know, we had all the hosts were asked about who the best players in the NHL were, and man, oh man, Quinn Hughes, he's not 3rd, he's not 6th, he's 10th on this list, behind Barkov, Kaprizov, Hellebuck, Matthews, Kucherov, Makar, Draisaitl, McKinnon, and McDavid. Kyle, you know where I would have Quinn Hughes on this list?
Say it.
4th, behind McDavid, McKinnon, and Draisaitl, man. I think he's better than Makar. I think he's, you know, more well-versed than Kucherov. Obviously, I think he's more impactful than Austin Matthews. Connor Hellebuck, that's a tough one, but I think, you know, you remove Hellebuck from the Jets, you remove Quinn Hughes from the Canucks. Who's the worst team? It's probably the Canucks. Kaprizov and Barkov, great players as well. But I think, for my money, Quinn Hughes is the 4th best player in the NHL behind the 2 guys in Edmonton and Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, I mean,
tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. I just said he's the 3rd best. But
okay, who's he better than? Okay, give me your top 3 then.
I just told you.
David, McKinnon, and Hughes.
No, McKinnon, Draisaitl, and Hughes. I love what?
Wow.
I'm taking.
You went McKinnon, Draisaitl, Hughes, McDavid.
Oh no, sorry, McDavid, Draisaitl, Hughes, and then McKinnon. My
Okay,
bad.
wow.
Yeah,
Damn,
my
dude.
bad. That's what I meant to say. What I appreciate Quinn Hughes, and I think he's more of a hack than we in a good way than we believe. And honestly speaking, like huge Barkov fan, huge Kaprizov fan. In fact, Barkov bro. To be honest, I take it back. It's Connor McDavid, it's Alexander Barkov, then it's Quinn Hughes, because Barkov has 1 Stanley Cups and he's shut down like the elite of the elite. Like, let's put some respect on that guy's name for real. He's so incredible. All that being said, I mean, the fact that the Locked On host like had Quinn Hughes all the way at 10 is just so disappointing and actually gross. And I feel like this actually connects to this. And I know there's some Devils fans in the live chat right now. Okay, you guys are chirping me for my voice and whatnot. Go ahead. It's all good. I don't give. Come on. Trevor, you want me to say it? I already told the people. My girlfriend's hot. Okay, who cares? Where am I going with this next? Oh yeah, dude, I know the East. And I know this is apparent because if you look at what the Devils are offering the Canucks for Quinn Hughes in like fan forums, they don't even know how good Quinn Hughes is. I think they literally think he's as good as Jack Hughes. No, for real. And that's not the truth. Like, Quinn Hughes is double the player of Jack Hughes. That's legitimately the truth. And I'll say this. The fact that Luke and Jack are talking a little bit about Quinn, more so Jack than Luke, goes to show me that, I don't know, man. They may not have it. They're just talking way too much. Quinn, more of a stoic, more of a business guy, not about the fluff, not about the media. I'm not saying Quinn's going to like hate on his brothers for doing that, because he also looks like or feels like he's the best big brother in the world. No joke. But I don't know, something about those guys. Like, why are you guys even mentioning or talking about next year? Like, oh, we'll figure out what happens with Quinn. Like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. The camera's on. It's like, yo, just pay attention to the roster you have right now and get to work, right? You overrated bunch of Devils, like, for real. Straight up. It's actually kind of concerning how much they're talking about him. I know Rutherford is doing it on our end as well, but the Devils have had promise for like 4, 5, 6 years, where the Canucks are not really that team. They had that blip a couple of years ago, but the Devils are like supposed to be that team. These number 2 picks, these number 1 picks, all this stuff. And it seems as if they're not even focused on next year. They're more so focused on waiting till they get Quinn. Or no, focused on this year as opposed to like putting their energy into next year. It's like, what's going on? Like, shut up.
Yeah, I mean, let's be frank here until before we get to the other side, Kyle. I mean, like, Jack Hughes obviously knows a lot more about the situation than you and I do. But you talk about the distraction, right? The distraction of Quinn Hughes and them waiting for Quinn Hughes to come. You got to focus on the here and now in the NHL. You can't be looking a year, 2 years down the road if you're a player. Like, you got to focus on winning right now. And yeah, I do wonder if all this noise about Quinn Hughes and, the thought about him coming to New Jersey, like, when the Devils have a bad game, are they going to be like, oh, wow, it's fine, we got Quinn Hughes coming to save us in a little bit? Like, no, they got to focus on the here and now. So I do wonder if this does become a distraction with this Devils team. Look, they were disappointing last year. Injuries played a big part in it. They should be a good team. Like, let's be real, as much as I'm hating on the Devils, they should be a good team this year. But I do wonder if this distraction, this noise will get to them as the season goes on here.
100%. Anyways, let's get to the comments here on Locked On Canucks. Okay, the New Jersey fan, what's it called? Glizzy88 saying, okay, this is Glaze. Quinn Hughes is, not in the top 3, but, he agrees that he's in the top 6. I'm glad that at least Glizzy88 is saying he's in the top 6. Like, at least, I think this guy knows how good Quinn Hughes is. I know you're hating on me. It's all good. We're all Canucks here. If you're still watching this, let us know what you'd offer us for Quinn Hughes. I want to get into that, okay? For real. I do. That's really interesting. And man, oh man, Trevor, a lot of Devils talk here. It is what it is, but that's life, man. That's life. I hate Jack Hughes. I hate you know what, Trevor? I'll say this again. I've made a couple YouTube shorts about this, and this kind of connects to you too. If Quinn Hughes joins his brothers with the Devils, again, like that's a crazy sentence. For a religious man like me, Deepak Chopra, why are you laughing?
Yeah, no, it's true. No, you're a religious man. Yeah, that's why I always think of you as religious guy.
Yeah. Deepak Chopra reader.
And it's like 25 minutes we spent talking about the Devil.
Yeah. Okay. So so that whole sentence, Quinn Hughes joined the Devils to play with his brothers. If that actually happens, I'm not talking to my brother anymore. I'm probably not talking to you anymore for real too, because I consider you my brother, and I'm gonna look at all my brothers as Devils, and I don't want to be surrounded by darkness and toxicity and the Illuminati. So Quinn Hughes, save my family and don't go join yours.
Or just win us a cup first, that's fine. All we need is one Stanley Cup anyways. Let's go win the cup this year, man. Let's go! And before we win the cup, we got to play another preseason game. So let's talk about the guys. The Canucks got about 3 cuts left they got to make. Who those cuts going to be? Let's get into it on the other side here on Locked On Canucks.
People, we back doing this. And Trevor, I do want to ask you, how you're doing, how's your life doing? But again, this is what happens when you sleep with the devil. All you want to do is spend time with the devil. And we got to get back to that comment from Glizzy. What's his name? Glizzy Glazer? No, Glizzy.
I thought it was Guzzler 88.
Glizzy Gazer. No, Glazer. Guzzler? That's what I meant to say. Okay,
yeah,
next. Okay, this comment comes from, again, Glizzy, Glazer, Guzzler, 88. I would offer Dougie Hamilton and some picks and some retention. You see what I'm saying?
And he said either see a Seamus Casey or Simon Nemec. That's pretty cute. Those are both pretty good young defensemen. I mean, the Canucks don't really want a 30-plus-year-old Dougie Hamilton on their team. That's not something this team wants. But that's what the Devils would probably have to do to make the cap work. Although, actually, Dougie Hamilton might be a free agent by then. I'll take that back.
Simo Nemec, Casey, $7 billion and 8 first-round picks. Or to be honest, let's say the Devils, and I don't see this happening because Nico Hischier is unbelievable and he's just so consistent, more consistent than, I don't want to say more consistent than Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes is sick. I don't want to go there. But
he's more available than Jack Hughes usually, or at least over the past couple of seasons.
I'll say this, though. Let's say, and again, I don't see this happening because, again, Hischier's sick. Hischier kind of struggles this year or isn't the best. The Devils get knocked out of the first round. And it's like, yo, you guys want Quinn? He's 100 times better than Nico Hischier. And that's saying a lot. But Quinn Hughes is like, he's up there. He's really, really up there. Cale Makar, good. It's like, yo, give us Hischier. We'll give you Quinn Hughes. And, Hischier and something. I know, but I'm just saying, like, let's act like we're moving A, the best player in the trade, and B, like one of the greatest players in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
This guy's numbers are with Bobby Orr and company. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I know the Devils. That's probably one of their 3 players they'd probably be loath to give up. Right? It'd be Jack Hughes, it'd be Luke Hughes, and it would be Nico Hischier. Right? Those are probably the 3 guys they really want to keep. But like I said, Kyle, he's one of the best players in the game, and even as we've had 9-10 months to digest the JT Miller trade, like I'm still not in love with it, but the return's starting to look a little better. Like maybe Alvin, again, we said it before. Every day is no. Maybe he knew what he was doing, and he's proven fans wrong before. And Heel's been looking sick. Mancini's been looking sick. That first round from Marcus Pettersson, guys playing like a top pairing defenseman on a great deal. There's some things to like about that deal now, for sure. Now, the Canucks, Kyle, the Canucks of today have 27 players left on their roster. Nils Oman got sent to Abbotsford, the waiver wire. Familiar place for that guy. So the Canucks have 27 players left. They're going to have to trim it down to 23. Nikita Tolopilo, obviously, he's going to have to go to the AHL at some point. He's still with the team.
Wait, hold up. Breaking news. Can we pray for Nils Oman? We've had a really dark episode today, so can we just pray for Nils Oman? Okay, go ahead.
Canucks have 3 cuts left to make, Kyle. I mean, you look at the forwards right now. Looks like there are 15 forwards still on the squad. The lines tonight, it looks like it could be Atu Ratu, Max Sasson, and Linus Karlsson. That's it out of the lineup based on line rushes at morning practice today. Looks like you're going to have DeBrusk, Pettersson, Besser, Baines, Steve Baines, top 6 Baines with Hedel and Garland. Let's go Surrey, BC, baby. Third line of O'Connor, Bluger, and Sherwood. And fourth line of Kane, Coots, Lecker, Mackey. Kyle, we talked about the lines yesterday. Every day, a new wrinkle gets thrown in. Is this something you could see the Canucks running with on opening night?
I would say it's more likely that Ratu replaces Baines, unless Baines rips it up. Like, I know Baines was pretty damn good against Calgary, and even though I do kind of still want to see more play driving and offensive ability, because we see it at the AHL level, like he's more creative. All that being said, he's a safe player. Like in essence, he's quicker than Niels Amon, but we've kind of just seen that from RT Baines. Like he just gives us like the Niels Amon floor type effort, game in and game out, doesn't do much. But now he's getting like this look with Hedel on the last uh preseason game. Like that's not a small thing. I don't think they're doing it because they're pressing the random button. I think they're doing it because they haven't found their chemistry yet, and they're looking for answers. And I think they look at the AHL film, they possibly look at what this guy does in practice, and they're like, yo, you could be that guy that we can rely on, middle six guy who has some like juice to him and can make plays, and I just feel as if this could be like the last chance for him. So I don't know if they're going to waive him if he doesn't do great today, but you know how we've been expecting Pedersen to like give us more pop outside of like some power play moments. I want to see that from Archetype, especially if he's getting a top 6 role, and we need to see more of the pop, because if he doesn't bring the pop, we might as well have Atu Ratu there.
Yeah, I agree with most of what you said, Kyle. I think the main thing for me is I don't know if it's necessarily that they haven't found the guy there yet. I just think they're auditioning a lot of different guys in that spot to see if they can do it, right? And I think the Nils Höglander.
They haven't found the guy, though. They haven't found the guy. That's exactly what it is.
I think a lot of it, though, is Nils Höglander, the injury, right? Like the chemistry was there with Hedel pretty early on, and then he gets injured. And I think they have Kane there as a fallback. I believe that this management team, this coaching staff thinks that Kane can play that role, but they want to see if the other guys can do it, right? Like, can Ratu do it? Can Baines do it? They've had O'Connor there for stints. Like, can these other guys do it in the top 6? That's what preseason's all about, right? So I think this is just one more opportunity for another guy to show that he belongs in the top 6 role. And look, RT Baines, we've been pumping this guy's tires. At least I've been pumping his tires. He's got the hockey IQ to do it, right? He just got to, again, unleash a bit of his own game. Maybe unleash his inner devil. And not be so safe out there. And I think we could see something pretty slick from Archie Baines.
Are you mad at me? Like, are you deep down mad at me for not having Archie's back over the last week or so?
On, where's your Surrey bias?
I know.
I'm Surrey, Kyle.
I know. Trevor, you know what's happening here. Season's getting closer. I just want it to go well so badly. The whole Quinn Hughes thing. Like everything has to go right for Quinn Hughes to like keep our window open for like an extended amount of years outside of the next 2 that he signed for. So like the top 6 position, or just even like the middle 6, like whether you're playing on the second or third line, like everyone's got to get going. And I'm just like, Archie Baines has had his opportunity to not play it safe. Thomas Drance had this good like wordage that he used, right? Like he's got to, I'm paraphrasing just a little bit, but he's got to stop being like the coach's pet. And this is coming from like, dude, Thomas Drance is a bigger Archie Baines fan than you. I think, did Thomas Drance go to Fleetwood Secondary School? Maybe, I don't know. This guy's moving like a Surrey Beaver.
He talks like a Vancouver guy, though. He doesn't talk like a Surrey guy.
I was going to say he sounds like a Surrey Jack sometimes, the way he's talking about Archie Baines, okay? For real. I'm just saying in general, like, he's got to stop being the coach's pet. Like, this is the last one. Like, I hope he unleashes today. And, like, go ahead and it wouldn't be proving me wrong because I know he has it in him. But sometimes I look at the way he plays and I'm like, I wonder, because he's been so good everywhere that he's played. I wonder if he cannot do it for the Vancouver Canucks. Like, could he do it for the Columbus Blue Jackets? Could he do it for the Minnesota Wild? Could he do it for the Carolina Hurricanes? Maybe, but like his dream was to be a Vancouver Canuck. It came true, and that's a lot of pressure. And maybe he's like trying to play it safe so much because he wants to be there so bad. But when you do that, you're not playing with your instincts. And when you're an offensive player, like you're playing in the middle 6 in the NHL in 2025, like you need to have more fun. Anyways, enough Archie Baines talk. The other one that's interesting, I don't know if you're going to mention something else, and I know we got to get going soon. Evander Kane literally playing like not the enforcer, but the big brother role. And it was confirmed by, was it Kevin Dean? Like, I think he talked to the media about it. That's interesting because now there's a path for Evander Kane to be everyone's favorite Canuck, because there's nothing more endearing to the Canadian market or the local market than a good hockey player that also defends his teammates, and especially an 18-year-old. Like this has the writing on the wall for an immediate like immediate love fest between the Canucks fans and Evander Kane. And if you go back to like July or whenever the trade was made at, I feel like it was like a 30%, 70% split when it came to like Canucks fans being either upset or happy about the trade. But this could go to 100% real quick. And we did mention that early on. Like, even though me and you weren't big fans of the trade, we were like, yo, we played the New York Rangers end of October. If he fights JT Miller, everyone's buying Evander Kane Canucks jerseys for Christmas. But he might get like that type of appreciation ASAP because he's Big Brother now. He's Big Brother Kane.
100%. And yeah, look, it's why I really don't think these preseason lines are what we're going to see on opening night. There's no offense to the Big Brother role for that Kane has with Coots, but Coots, Lekermaki, and Canes in your bottom six, Baines in the top six. Like, it seems like another experimental game to me to see if this can work. And again, either having Kane or Sherwood alongside Coots makes a lot of sense, or even alongside Lekermaki makes a lot of sense. Is it going to happen in the regular season though? I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I mean, look, Coots and Lekermaki by far are two of the most interesting players to watch tonight, right? With Baines being up there as well, for sure. But if Coots and Lekermaki have another good night, is it going to force the Canucks into a tough decision, like where they maybe waive one of Baines or Carlson, right? Like, we think Max Sasson's probably going down just because of the numbers game, the fact he doesn't need waivers. And then on defense as well, we haven't mentioned yet, like Victor Mancini doesn't look like he's going to play tonight. I would say Mancini, maybe at this point, the way I'm reading into it, has a spot locked up on this team. And they would want us to have one more look at what DPD and Tom Willander can do tonight. Of course, Joseph and Forbort not playing, weren't expected to play, didn't practice today. So we'll see how their injury status plays into how the Canucks release their opening roster, which, Kyle, we're going to have a chance to talk about on Monday, man, because the final rosters do have to be finalized by Monday. So I look for that in the next episode of Locked On Canucks, man. But looking forward to seeing what one more night preseason hockey can bring. And if DPD and Lander can kind of make one last stand themselves in terms of making the Canucks think about, like, is Mancini the tops among those three?
The Willander's being sent down. Like, this is just like play another game in the NHL, go get sent down and, get more experience and whatnot. But I don't see this guy coming close to cracking the lineup. And I know, like, Mancini's played better than DPD. And it's, I don't know, like, it's making the decision tough when it comes to, like, who's going to play game one with the Vancouver Canucks, right? But I just see both of them making the club. Like, why do we need POJ here, Like, I don't get it. Just, it doesn't make any sense. And maybe, just maybe, it's like, oh, you want these guys playing games and getting that experience. But it's like, yo, doesn't the AHL season start a little bit later than the NHL regular season? I could be wrong. Like, just, like, keep DPD with the big club. Like, go practice. Like, alternate. You know what I'm saying? Alternate him, Mancini, and Forbort. Like, just keep them up. Keep them up. Again, I'm going to put an emphasis on, like, the tough thing. The Canucks are soft. They're a soft team. Like it or not, they're a soft team. We need DPD and Mancini because, we talked about it yesterday. Go check it out. That guy is, he's different. He's like the closest thing to Quinn Hughes that we have when it comes to, like, offensive connection from the blue line. Okay. Anyways, comments. Okay. The comments are really funny. Wait, Trevor, like, can you read that comment from Olivia on the go before I show it on the at 2:02 p.m.? Is that last word is that a bad word? I don't think it's a bad word, right? It rhymes with macaroni. Can you see it? 2:02 p.m. Because they're going at it in the comments. I want to show it though. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, there was someone making noise out here, man. No, it just means a foolish person. So no, you're good.
Okay. Look at this comment from Olivia on the go. Quinn doesn't want to play for a city with a bunch of jabronis. And Glizzy Glazer, Guzzler. I don't even know what does Guzzler even mean. I don't know what. Is this all like New Jersey?
Do you want me to explain that? No, it's a family program, Kyle. I'm not explaining. Yeah, you're trying to trick me into that one, man. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know. I'm not cool and hip like you, Trevor. The terms I use is love making. Okay, and kissing on the forehead. Okay, so Trevor, you know me. I'm a gentleman. But Glizzy 88 saying, "Shut up, cornball." They're going at it, and La Primo's like, New Jersey literally smells bad. But yo, again, I want to be the home of the West Coast bias. There's parts of Vancouver that smell like piss too, and that's why you got to hit the like button so we can go clean up the city. Like, I want to support the city. You know, the studio's taking care of the city and its neighbors, giving a space for people to make some good art on the low. Let's help the city out. But all in all, New Jersey versus Vancouver is about to be one of the biggest rivalries of all time, and I'm gonna say it right now because I'm feeling away. Let's meet these motherfuckers in the Stanley Cup final. And let's kick some ass.
Let's go, man. Let's go. We'll be there for that Stanley Cup final here on Locked On Canucks. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. If you're going to the game tonight, I'm going to be outside interviewing streeters at Rogers Arena. So look for the goofy guy with the dippity-doo in a suit outside Rogers Arena if you want to chat for some fun Canucks content. Kyle and I we'll be back. Who knows? We'll be back on Monday for sure for the roster announcement. Maybe before then. But whenever you listen, we appreciate the hell out of you for tuning in. If you like what we're doing, you can go like and subscribe on YouTube on the podcast side. Go follow us. Leave a 5-star review. Help me feed my family with the likes, baby. Unbelievable stuff. Go Canucks, go. Last preseason game tonight. What's going to happen? Who knows? But, we got you covered here on Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.